Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Kobold Chats. Hold on, I'm moving my camera around to make this is that good? Yeah, it's a little low. Come on. That'll work for right now. Hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Kobold Chats. My name is Kendrick or Kendo, whichever you prefer, and it is Friday once more. The Friday before Gen Con. Because guess what? Oh, God, sorry. I took a drink of water, and then it immediately went into the wrong pipe. Give me 1 second. Okay, we're good. Yeah, everybody, today is Friday, the Friday right before Gen Con. Are we going to... Yeah, I'm going to Gen Con. You can find Kobold Press over at Gen Con booth number 1649. We're going to be talking about that today, actually, but the Kobolds are getting ready for our grand journey across the various places in the United States, converging in Indianapolis, Indiana for the best time of the year, Gen Con. And so, yeah, you'll be able to find me there, but all of us there. We're going to have a booth in the exhibitor hall where you can come and get Kobold Press books. You can get some dice. You can just talk with the kobolds about your favorite Kobold Press or TTRPG stuff. You can go get... we still have tickets for our org playroom if you want to play Tales of the Valiant and the many... different adventures we've got there, as well as maybe win, or I guess not win, succeed, get, what's the right word I'm looking for? You can get one of the titles, basically, is what I was trying to say. Because if you remember, at Kobold Con and also at GameCon Canada, we introduced titles, which are special little, like, basically, they are, what's the word I'm looking for? When someone does a thing and then they get like, Leonard the Dragon Slayer, XYZ. You know, one of those, we're calling them titles, is what we call them. Basically, there is a secret achievement that you can get in the game, and all of the GMs who are running the game know what it is. If you accomplish this task, be it, succeeding on a very specific saving throw, or getting a very specific item from a place, or doing... I don't know what the triggers are, so I couldn't possibly tell you what they are, but if you do it, your GM will let you know. You will go take, and you will also get that title within our Kobold Press Discord, so you can show it off to everyone. You can let people know, hey, I did the secret cool thing during this convention game, and now I'm a very special person because of it. And you can show it off to everyone. Those are your bragging rights, and no one can take them from you. So if you want to do our org play, there's still plenty of tickets over on the not Kobold Press store, over on the Gen Con website. All you have to do is filter for Kobold Press, and you can find them pretty easily. Where's GameCon Canada? GameCon Canada is in, oh geez, I went last year and we just went, is it in Toronto? It's Toronto or Alberta. I don't remember where. It's in Canada. Somewhere. I'm not from Canada, so I'm so sorry that I don't know the Canadian geography all that well. But yeah, GameCon, they just moved it to a different convention center this past like year, or like for this year. They changed it from what it was last year, is what I was trying to say. I'm looking it up for you. It's in Edmonton. Yeah, so yeah, Alberta, I was right. Yeah, it's in Edmonton. All right. What was I saying? The titles are pretty cool, and what better memory to say, right? What better memory than to say, hey, I was able to successfully find the secret task that I had to do. And now I have a title that maybe like 5 to 10 other people have, and I get to wave it in your face for the rest of my life. What better memory from Gen Con can you take? All right, we got some stuff we got to do today, so let's actually go and do those things. First up, don't forget that the Beat the Heat sale is still going on. Beat the Heat sale? What's that? Well, guess what? You can get 20% off of any of our virtual tabletop, well, okay, most of our virtual tabletop products, except for the like brand new things that just came out, which includes the Labyrinth Worldbook, which is now on Foundry, and then the old Margrave, which is now on Labyrinth is on Fantasy Grounds, Foundry for the old Margrave, and also for Shard. But everything before then is on sale for 20% off. So you could get Magnificence in Silver, Castles and Crowns, the Book of Blades, anything that is on this list, right? And so if you are looking to take this time to capitalize on this sale before it ends July 31st, you can go over to the Kobold Press store. There is very specifically a tab where you can just look at all of the VTT products, and you can also filter by the specific platform of your choosing. And yeah, you can get it that way. There's so many of them. Took advantage of the Beat the Heat sale to get the Game Master's Guide for Foundry VTT. Yeah, all of the rollable tables, the vehicles. It's so good. Look, there's like airships and like it's so good. So yeah, this the Beat the Heat sale goes until July 31st, so you still have another week or so before it ends. Now is the time. Now is the time to get your virtual tabletops. And as I was saying before, hey, Gen Con booth number 1649. You can find us in the Exhibitors Hall all throughout Gen Con. So you can go and find us there. The Org Play room is going to be in the JW Marriott on the bottom floor. I don't remember the specific room. I think it's White River Ballroom F. So you will be able to find us there as well. Now, there's a thing that I didn't put on here, but I do want to talk about, and that's, hey, don't forget to pre-order the Necromancer card game. Trust me, there's a reason why I'm telling you right now. Hey, go pre-order the Necromancer card game. It's a pretty sick game. And we also, it's good. It's a good game. I'm trying to remember what I can and can't say right now. Go play it at Gen Con is what I'll say. You can come. I think we have some work play tables specifically for the Necromancer card game, so you can maybe play it at Gen Con as well. And maybe if you pre-order it now, it'll be in your mailbox sooner than you might think. So just wanted to give you a quick update on that. Pre-order Necromancer. Now back to what I was supposed to be talking about today. As always, we've got to go check out the blog, and there's another sick blog that came out just today, actually, by Steve Winter, and that's another one of the Howling Tower series, where they have been taking the different lineages within Tales of the Valiant and taking a look at it from a critical lens, as if, hey, these aren't just humans but a different flavor. This is an entirely different people with a different origin. What is it like to stand in the shoes of this kind of character? What is it like to think from a different perspective than just my mundane human life, so I can bring to life these fantastical characters of dwarven, elven, kobold, whatever lineage you are? And today we're talking about the Siderians. Oh, not that one. That was Well of Shadows. We'll get to that. But this one's talking about the Siderian, which I'm super interested to look at, especially because the Siderian takes the place of, or not takes the place of, but is it is the lineage that is, there is some kind of external factor, right? There is some kind of outer plane in which you are kind of connected to, be that the celestial planes, be that the nine hells, be that, I think, in the Labyrinth, we added the Spellborn. Am I correct about that? I think so. Where you were born out of the pure, or you were infused somehow with the pure, arcane, raw energies. The Siderian can be a lot of different things, but it is primarily someone whose heritage or not their heritage, but their lineage comes from this highly elemental or ephemeral. Is that the word I'm looking for? Not really. Plane touched. Thank you so much. The plane touched. So let's figure it out. Howling Tower, a study of the Siderian. This is Article 7 of the series where we're talking about all the lineages. We can skip this part. Let's talk about the assumptions of being a Siderian. This article, hold on, let's zoom in a little bit so it's easier for you all to read. Come on, we got this. There we go. Okay. The assumptions. This article looks at Siderians with the typical recommended heritage of anointed or vexed. These two heritages are strikingly different and yet intriguingly similar. We'll deal with both on an equal footing where it matters. We'll state explicitly whether we're talking about one or the other. Some of what's stated here won't apply to Siderians with different heritages, and it might apply to other characters with the anointed or vexed heritage. In general, whenever we state Siderian, we mean typical anointed or vexed Siderian. The traits ascribed to Siderians in this article aren't exhaustive or universal. Devise your own cultural details for your character using these as a guide. But make a different, thought-provoking, and most of all, solid hook for a unique role-playing experience. If you want to play your character like a human, play a human. What makes a Siderian? Well, before diving in, what even is a Siderian? The term may be unfamiliar, but the concept is as old as superstition. It comes from the word sidereal, meaning of the stars. According to the Tales of the Valiant Player's Guide, Siderian characters are spawned by or spring from creatures or powers from a different plane of existence, sometimes called starborn or plane-touched. Their origins are as varied and mysterious as the cosmic forces that shaped them. Siderians are similar to changelings in that most are inserted into a mortal family without the parents' knowledge or consent. Rather than having their own infant be stolen and replaced with something else, the family's infant is conceived as Siderian or becomes Siderian in the womb when a spirit or soul from another realm of existence merges with the fetus. There are exceptions. This is fantasy, where just about anything is possible, but that's the general case. Earth mythology is filled with characters who fit that description, such as Achilles, Perseus, Sigurd, Karna, Hanuman. In mythology, these figures typically have one mortal and one immortal parent. In the Tales of the Valiant game, a Siderian's origin is open-ended for you to imagine. Just going to answer this question real quick. Where's a good place to find more ToV groups? I wouldn't mind finding a group to play with remotely. I would say the best place that you can find people to play with is probably the Kobold Press Discord, where there are, I can't even tell you how many. I think there are hundreds. I think that would be correct in saying hundreds of people. I would say local game stores and also the looking for group channel in the Discord, in the Kobold Press Discord specifically, but maybe other Discords as well. And you can find a link to that Discord over on our website. But also, I can probably just drop a quick link for you if you just give me a second. Copy link. Can I copy this link? Can I copy that link? I can copy that link, and I can post that link. There it is. There we go. Ooh, someone in our Twitch chat says, also potentially in the Start Playing Games, since it's mainly online. That's true. So, yeah. Where did we leave off? Okay, back to this. The common thread running through all of these stories is power bound up with destiny. If the idea of playing a character who is chained to an important but unknown and possibly inescapable destiny appeals to you, a Siderian is the ideal choice. The recommended heritage choices for Siderians are anointed and vexed. These are essentially opposite sides of a single supernatural origin coin. The anointed side accepts or revels in the character's origin and destiny, while the vexed side rejects it or rebels against it. These extremes can overlap. A character might accept, even thrive on the physical and psychological benefits of their otherworldly heritage while struggling against the burdensome destiny it places on them, or vice versa. Likewise, there's no reason why celestial Siderians can't reject their angelic ancestry or fiendish Siderians can't welcome theirs. These options are open-ended. With all that said, what characteristics set Siderians apart from other lineages? Well, there is no such thing as a Siderian village or society. Siderians are very rare, or should be. A Siderian PC might live their entire life without ever meeting another Siderian like themselves. Whether they're hated or loved by their neighbors, they are always outsiders and misfits. Being marked as outsiders, Siderians are drawn to anonymity. A Siderian birth doesn't happen randomly or by chance. Every Siderian brought into being has a purpose, a destiny it is meant to fulfill. Anointed accept their supernatural genesis and might, or might not, seek out their destiny. Vexed defy their origin or destiny, either hiding it or openly scorning it. But in no case can they ignore it. Stranger in a strange land. Every Siderian is an anomaly, a deviation from what should have been. Was an innocent mind effaced so that Siderian's otherworldly spirit could replace whatever personality was meant to inhabit this body? There's no simple way for the Siderian to know, but if so, that's a heavy burden for a compassionate person to bear. Most Siderians can't hide their bizarreness. Inhuman skin tone, glowing eyes, hair that moves by itself, horns, wings, a tail. These aren't just oddities. They're shocking signs of inhumanity. We might be tempted to say, so what? In a world of fantasy, wouldn't everyone know about Siderians and simply accept them like 100 other weird things? Maybe, but consider, if everyone knows about Siderians, then they know every Siderian carries a destiny. And they probably know that mythological destinies are a curse more often than they're a boon. No community wants a harbinger of doom hanging around. If Siderians aren't common knowledge, then their physical traits and supernatural abilities are alarming. If they're common knowledge, they're still alarming. Here in the 21st century, we like to think we're enlightened and multicultural. The farmers and herders of an isolated village with 20 families, one of whom just gave birth to a bright turquoise child with horns, a tail, and smoke-filled eyes, probably aren't so well educated and open-minded. That child would be considered an omen, good or bad. It might be welcomed as a blessing in the village, but it will always be the Sky Child, the Starborn, or the Hellblood, and never just another one of us. I want to be alone. Along with orcs, beastkins, and kobolds, Siderians face the additional stigma of being strangers in a world dominated by humans, elves, dwarves, and smallfolk, if that description fits your setting. That applies to all Siderians, not just those with fiendish origins. Celestials are less frightening to look at than fiends, but in a world where magic and the supernatural are real and dangerous, anything unfamiliar is a potential peril. The supernatural being who nurtures plentiful crops and healthy herds might also be the bringer of drought and famine if you upset them. So it's best to tread lightly where such entities are concerned. A Siderian who's fed up with being treated as an outsider has two options. The first is to blend into the cultural multi-lineage melange of a large city. The second is to withdraw into isolation, far from other habitation. Bandits, outcasts, and exiles tend to welcome fellow misfits, whoever they might be. So there's a life of sorts out there. And of course, there's the adventurer's life of itinerant traveler, never staying in one place long enough to get thrown out. Born to destiny. The intents and purposes of the beings responsible for the existence of Siderians in the mundane world are enigmatic. Why do these beings trigger the births of Siderians? Are they prohibited by natural or mystic law from interfering directly in our realm? Do they hope to engineer events or manipulate the future? They must have reasons, but they don't share them with us, and even if they did, we might not understand them. Eventually, every Siderian realizes they have a purpose, mission, or destiny that their extra mundane parents want them to fulfill. Yet, despite their otherworldly nature, Siderians are also partially human. Part of them is linked forever to an alien reality, but the mortal world is home. Because of this, an individual Siderian might not share the desires and goals of their progenitors. Destiny is a heavy burden. Every Siderian wrestles with the idea that the reason for their existence is to fulfill an agenda assigned by an unknown being. What can they do if that destiny conflicts with their human-taught values or threatens the people they love? Science fiction uses that theme regularly in stories about androids and self-aware robots who wrestle with their dual identity as part machine, part human. It's less common, but no less intriguing in a fantasy context. Now, how much would you pay? Destiny can be embraced. It can be fulfilled, unwillingly or unwittingly, or it can be thwarted. What destiny never does is work itself out without a cost. This is the number one thing to understand about choosing to play a Siderian. Your character comes with amazing abilities, vision that penetrates even magical darkness, resistance to necrotic damage, and wings of a celestial aspect or terrifying appearance, and fire damage for a fiendish aspect. But eventually, your lineage will demand payment for that power, and the cost will be sky high. You might be intended to topple a just kingdom, set loose an ancient evil, fulfill a demonic prophecy, trigger a righteous crusade that turns apocalyptic, or martyr yourself to bring about or forestall one of these events. Work out the precise nature of your destiny with your GM. It needs to jibe with and amplify your hopes for the character, as well as the GM's plans for the campaign. Avoid fleshing it out in detail from the start, because Siderians themselves only learn their destiny over time, and the GM is justified in changing some aspects of what you agree to as events unfold. Your character is, after all, only one piece in a larger game of fate. No matter what your Siderian PC accomplishes, all the adventures they go on and treasure they seize are sideshows. This central conflict in your character's life comes when their destiny becomes clear and they face the crisis of what to do about it. Regardless of whether you choose to fulfill or defy your destiny, you won't walk away the victor. Your character was always a tool of fate. Tools are used, broken, and discarded. Now here's some tips about role-playing your Siderian with all of these things in mind. Even in the midst of friends and companions, you are, ultimately, always alone. In all the world, there's no one else like you, and no one else who understands what it's like to be you. Even you don't fully comprehend what it means to be you. Everyone wonders, what is my purpose in life? But the enigma at the core of that question is the cornerstone of your existence. Forces too large and alien for you to comprehend designed you to further their goals. You have no voice in this plan, but you do have a voice in whether and how you comply. When the cosmic forces using you as a pawn finally make their play, you might win the game. For them, or crush their strategy. You will not, however, come out on top. You are the means, not the goal. A Siderian PC may be the most difficult lineage of all to play well in a long campaign, but the reward is a role-playing experience like no other. I really like this way of thinking about the Siderians and thinking of them, right? Because I think in if we're thinking of the classic way people think about tieflings and what are they called? What are the celestial versions called? They're not Aarakocra. It's another A name though, I know. Whatever it is. But they're especially tieflings, I think there's a tendency for a lot of ASMR? I say ASMR, whatever. Thank you. Find themselves in games and they're like usually like maybe like another like handful of them, right, that you like come into conflict with or like come into contact with. And there's like not a lot of, or I think a lot of the conflict, especially for tieflings, ends up coming down to, well, either there's a whole bunch of us and like there's like, and people don't like devils, so on and so forth. I have a devil parent and I gotta deal with my devil parent. I don't like them that much, whatever. But reframing this as like you are not just the child of like some otherworldly entity. You can be, but your being born had a purpose beyond just as incident to a child was born and it was you, right? Someone had, and of course this is specifically for these two heritages, right, of the vexed and the anointed, of like you, there is something special about you. Someone made you specifically, not for you, but for them. And or maybe it is, or like maybe you go the route of like the person's like, yes, I made you so that someone like you could go out and experience the world and then bring back whatever it is to like whatever. Like there are different ways to play it, but really focusing in on the like, I was born for a reason, someone made me for a reason, and now I have to contend with, do I actually like, do I want to live out that reason, or do I want to be my own person? There's a lot there to play with it. Thank you. So many people immediately coming in as ASMR. Thank you. I appreciate it. Did I overread all of Baldur's Gate? No. Warren? No. I'm on the same page with you about Baldur's Gate specifically. A video of ASMR, just someone in complete cosplay like an angel tapping on their mics. Thank you so much, Steve Winter, for this amazing blog. I now am thinking about if I were to play an ASMR, what kind of direction I would like to go for that, which I think is cool. So, Well of Shadows. We finally come here to talk about Well of Shadows. If you don't know what Well of Shadows is, well, guess what? I'm about to tell you what it is. Well of Shadows was our free RPG day RPG. It was the adventure that we put out for free RPG day that now, if you missed getting it in person, you can now get on the Kobold Press store. I think I put this link in one of the chats before, but I'm going to just re-put it here again. And it's pretty sick. And not only that, not only are you getting this adventure for 3 to 4 third level characters, this also is a quick start guide for if somebody wanted to get into Tales of the Valiant, wanted to get into TTRPGs, and oh no, wait, hold on, give me 1 second. Sorry, I was looking at a thing. And gives them a chance to learn how to play the game, get into it. It's got some brand new pre-made characters in it as well, which I think are super cool because I think it takes some stuff from the Labyrinth in it, so it's cool seeing some new pre-gens who aren't necessarily the Valiant Six. So yeah, that's that. You can go get it on the Kobold Press store. So let's check it out. Give me 1 second. Okay, cool. So, yeah, let's get into Well of Shadows. So, first of all, this cover, the art for Well of Shadows, oh, It's so good. Like just all of these. Hold on, let me. I'm gonna zoom in on this real quick. So you all can see this. Just all of these weird. Like, what are these guys? What are these things? This is horrifying. I know you tease new members of the Valiant 6 for Player's Guide 2. Are we eventually getting pre-gens for those on the KP site? Yes. Once Player's Guide 2 comes out and you all get to see the new Valiant 6 or the additional Valiant 6, I don't know if we're calling them the Valiant 12 or the B team, whatever they are, you will be getting pre-gens for them, because I can't wait to play my girl Mako. She looks so cool. Gave that cover away for free. Little kids have seen that. I know, right? This is like, these things are horrifying. These things are horrifying. These little bodiless head things with these beady black eyes and little wings on. This is horrifying. This is horrifying. The artist really went above and beyond to make this really, really freaky. So I appreciate it, but also I gotta look at that, man. So within the Well of Shadows and Quickstart guide, you'll go through these first couple of things where it's like, hey, welcome to Tales of the Valiant. Here's what role-playing is. What does playing an RPG look like? There's a little QR code for you. What's an RPG? Here's some stuff for this. And then there's a thing here about, hey, you already know all that stuff. That's great. We also have some sections about what does it mean to be a good player? What does it mean to be a GM? And how do you take the next steps to get in and play? The West Coast Valiant. The West Coast Valiant. And then there's also this long thing of like, here, okay, hey, here's what playing this game actually looks like. And so you'll see this record of play, people describing their characters, describing the setting, going through different roles, explaining how the game works, how advantage and disadvantage, like being able to read stuff like this is how I learn how to play a lot of TTRPGs, because it gives me a sense of like, this is what a game could look like. I could be sitting at this table and I can read through it. I can see them break down the different parts of the game so that I basically kind of have like a step-by-step kind of internal guide for, okay, this happens. This is how I could describe something. This is how I would roll my dice, so on and so forth. So we've got a good couple of pages about that. And then there's also the, hey, playing an RPG. Here's all the dice. Knowing the rules. Here's all that. Step 4, talking at the table. Safety tools. Playing the game. And then there's some QRs for deck of player safety, which I love. And consenting gaming file, which I also love. Did Wolfgang Bauer get teleported into an adventure? Yeah, Wolfgang, because there's Dots in here, Wolfgang's in here, and then a Matt and like a Suleiman, which I don't know why Wolfgang and Dot are the only kobolds in here, but I think it's funny, personally. So that's that. Then so here's being a GM. Here's some stuff about what does it mean to be a GM. Here's what it's like to run the game and some things to keep in mind while you're running the game. And then, what's it like to be a good player? So on and so forth. Whew. And then we've got the new pre-gen characters. Spotted above step 6. Oh yeah, there they are. Ooh, I love this. God. Now that's Siderian right there. Love the look. The black and gold look. Gorgeous. But yeah, so take a look at these new pre-gen characters, which are, I mean, I adore them. So we've got Lindara, the elven battle mage. We've got our Minotaur, Bruthcade, who is a Minotaur trooper coming from the Labyrinth Worldbook. God, I love his armor. That's so cool. We've got Guthrie, the human waysmith, also from the Labyrinth Worldbook. And with sword, hand axe, my favorite two-handed combo, actually. Daggers are great, but there's something about a hand axe and a sword that just feel like a Viking or something. And then there is Morellis, the human cleric of Solana, who, you want to know more about Solana, guess what? You can find in the Labyrinth Worldbook. And you can also download the digital versions of all of these pre-gens, so it's not just part of the PDF on the Kobold Press store as well. Yeah, no, Lindar's and like there's something about like the magic bottle and the smoke and like all of the details about like just like all of her like alchemical components and stuff. She just looks sick. Just looks sick. All right, and then hey, look at that. You see they're all 3rd level. You've got everything you need in here to play these characters, as well as our beautiful Tales of the Valiant character sheet. And then obviously for anyone who has spell stuff, there's some spell stuff there, so on and so forth. And then we get to the meat and potato. Daggers are overdone. Lean into the chaos with the hand axe. Exactly. Okay, so here we are in the Kobold Warrens. In the Kobold Warrens, talking about Well of Shadows. So we're just going to, as usual, going through the first couple of pages of it, the hooks, all of that good stuff, learning the history so that you maybe will hear it and go, well, this is a thing I need to run. I need to play this. So let's get into it. The adventure background. Many centuries ago, a cult dedicated to Mot, the ancient god of death, built a shrine surrounding a planar portal to Mot's realm known as the Dry Lands. They constructed a well to house the portal and would use the well to dump the bodies of those who were sacrificed. In addition, cultists of Mot would sometimes throw themselves into the well for a chance to personally serve the Lord of Undeath in the Dry Lands. Naughty. 3 decades ago, adventurers slew the cultist who maintained the shrine. Unfortunately, they did not possess the ability to destroy the well, and free of the destroy the well and free of the cultist's control, creatures from the void began to escape from it into the lands beyond. You gotta destroy the well, gang. You gotta destroy the well. Eventually, the Concord of Stars heard about the spreading corruption and sent 2 members of the Blood Legion to find the source of the planar rift and close it. One of these members was Darzelin, a 2-headed dragonborn... a what? A 2-headed dragonborn warlock? I could be a 2-headed dragonborn and no one told me? There's gotta be art of him. I'm sorry, I gotta look for art for this guy. There's gotta be art for this guy. There's gotta be art for this guy. Ah, look at him! Oh, he got... Oh... Spoilers, he got corrupted. This guy is sick. Oh, him being a yellow and a void dragonborn is so sick. That's so cool. This guy is dope. This is my favorite NPC now. I love this guy. Yo, that's dope. That's so dope. Imagine having different personalities in the 2 heads. That's kind of like what Ettins are, right? Like Ettins have 2 heads that like bicker amongst each other. But yeah, no, great role-playing opportunity. Honestly, I love that. Oh, this is so cool. Immediately, haven't even gotten into it that much, but that's cool. I love that. All right, so Darzelin, a 2-headed dragonborn warlock, while the other was a human fighter named Varric Stormheart. In Varric's possession was a glaive known as Dawn's Caress, a weapon created explicitly by the Concord to destroy planar rifts. Unfortunately, their mission failed at a pivotal moment when Darzelin and Varric came to blows. Varric wanted to destroy the well, while Darzelin wished to study it before sealing it. With Mott whispering into his ear, Darzelin ended up killing Varric and throwing his body into the well. Look, I'm sorry, what can I say? It's my job. It's my job, I'm sorry. Alright, poor Darzelin got whispered into his ear by the god of undeath Mott, And now he serves them, and we have to stop that because that sucks. And I want Darzellan to be a good guy again, so because he's cool. After speaking with the Concord of Stars, the PCs are confronted by Astaril Ferncrown, a Blood Legion paladin who was close friends with Varric, and is angry that the Concord returned to outsiders for help. Once the PCs confront Astaril and earn her blessing, they must proceed to the Fane, where they can meet a far trader named Hosper. After dealing with Hosper, or avoiding him altogether, the PCs enter the Fane and fight through its upper levels before confronting Darzellan. Darzellan tries to stop them, though the PCs can harness his delusions and make the final fight easier if they play their cards right. Once they have dealt with the Dragonborn, they must use Dawn's Caress to seal the planar rift at the bottom of the well to prevent further corruption of the surrounding lands. This was the TTRPG Day adventure, right? Yes, it is. Now I'm extra annoyed that the shop I went to in New York City, where I was at, didn't have this one. Oh, they didn't have it? Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, this was the free RPG Day adventure. So I'm sorry. But hey, now you can get it on the Kobold Press store. I'm sorry it's not physical, but it's pretty good. So, factions and key players. There are several factions present in this adventure, each working towards their own agendas, and they are summarized here. Astaril Ferncrown, a Blood Legion knight and a close friend of Varric Stormheart, who is angry that her superiors haven't allowed her to travel to the Fane. She confronts the PCs before they leave on their journey. There's the Concord of Stars, an organization that spans the Labyrinth, dedicated to preventing the void from consuming all of reality. Blood Legion, a military legion within the Concord, known for their harsh training methods and hatred of the void. They accept anyone willing to battle against the forces of darkness, a trait that let them down when they accepted Darzellan into their ranks. Darzellan, a two-headed dragonborn warlock whose lineage is split between that of a gold dragon and a void dragon, as indicated by his two heads. Darzellan has always struggled against the pull of the void and joined the Blood Legion specifically to overcome its grasp. Ultimately, he failed when he entered the Fane, and Mott began whispering in his head, driving him to kill Varric. Hosper, a far trader disguised as a human merchant, he can sell the PC's goods and information before they enter the Fane. Whew. And then there's the stuff about using this adventure, so on and so forth. Yeah, you guys put a great adventure together. The other freebies I got were not on this level, so give the folks at the Warrens kudos on your behalf. This is a top shelf freebie ToV adventure. Thank you so much. I will 100% let them know, because this is pretty good. This is pretty sick. This is pretty sick. I love this. And this is like, yeah, this feels like there's a lot. It's a great introduction to the Labyrinth if you're wanting to do like a Labyrinth campaign, so on and so forth. Please be aware this was a bad year for Free RPG Day all around. Most Spartan FLGSs didn't participate this year. So yes, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, with everything going around, that makes sense. Okay, so we've only got a couple more minutes left here, and also comes with a map. There's also you can download specifically the handouts, which would include the map and stuff, as well as like the pre-gen stuff. You can download that over on the Kobold Press store for free. So it's not very useful without this book, but hey, there you go. Okay, yeah, let's read through Astaril Ferncrown. Sick. Oh, love the armor. Love the armor. Let's read through the call to actions, and I think that'll be it. So these are the two main ways PCs can become involved in the adventure. The PCs are members of the Concord of Stars. They are approached by a senior official within the organization, a human priest of Solana and Taritha, to find out what happened to Darzellan and Varric, and close the portal within the Fane if they can. Taritha tells the PCs that they will be well rewarded if they complete the mission, offering them 500 gold pieces each and a potential promotion within the organization if they succeed. Taritha tells them she doesn't want to send any more Blood Legion members, fearing that one of the two Legion members already sent may have somehow been corrupted. Alternatively, one of the PCs, the Ranger Guthrie, if players are using the pre-generated characters, approaches the Concord of Stars with information about the shrine's corruption of the surrounding lands. He requests their aid in combating the evil within, with the rest of the PCs sent to help him. In this scenario, the Concord of Stars is aware that the 2 Blood Legion members have not returned from their investigation of the Fane, but haven't yet concluded that the mission was a failure. The heroes' information spurs them to action. So basically, they already know, and they hire some people. They hire the party to like do it as already members of the Concord of Stars, but not within the Blood Legion. Or, hey, we didn't know that Varric and Darzellan didn't do it, and that's on us. We'll pay you, go do this, and maybe find some stuff out about them if you can. I'm so interested in how that changes, like, the meeting with Astral. If my guess is if they are members of the Concord of Stars, she's just upset that, hey, why isn't the Blood Legion doing this? That's our job. And if they're not, she's like, why did you hire someone outside of the Concord of Stars to go? Both are very interesting, very in different ways, ways for the players to have to interact with her. Try to see if it says it here somewhere. Also wants to know the PCs. Okay, yeah, I think she's mad regardless, because she's like, it should be us. It should be the Blood Legion doing this, not you all. Interesting. Hey, Astral, Blood Legion Knight, immaculate armor, short platinum blonde hair, stern blue eyes, scar on her face. Love this. Okay. Well, hey, if you want to know more about... Oops, wrong one. If you want to know more about Will of Shadows, hey, gang, you're going to have to go get it. And it's only $4.99 for a really sick adventure, while also getting some guidance that is really useful for new players. If either you are a new player or a new GM, or you're trying to introduce people to the game, that introductory part, as well as the new pre-gen characters, are a perfect way to get them engaged and get them moving, and that adventure seems really cool. Plus, you get to meet Darzellan, and I think Darzellan really should be the only the only thing you need in order to know that this is an adventure you want to play through. It's 1/3. You're right, Eric. It's 1/3 the eBay price. You can either get it on the Kobold Fest store or overpay for it on eBay. So, make your choice. All right, let's get on over here. Thank you so much for being here with me today for another Kobold Chats. This has been great. Go get Well of Shadows. Go get some VTTs. And I hope that I get to see any of you who are going to Gen Con at Gen Con next week. It's going to be a blast. Obviously, because I'm going to be at Gen Con, there is not going to be a Kobold Chats next week. But the week after, I'll probably ask Zach to join me so we can do a little post-Gen Con debrief and talk about the good time. So, until that happens, and until I see you next, don't forget to go out, be bold, be brave, be valiant, and I'll see you next time. Peace out, guys. I don't know what this was. Peace out, guys. Peace out. There it is.